Welcome to the deep dive. You sent us something really interesting this time, Alison McLean's This Moment Too.
Yeah, it's less like a standard book and more, well, a collection of thoughts, reflections really, on life and being.
Exactly. And our job today, our deep dive, is to sort of unpack the core ideas from these reflections. We're looking at things like personal responsibility, our inner states.
And how all that internal stuff seems to shape our external experiences. The goal is, hopefully, to give you some maybe fresh ways to think about your own daily life.
Absolutely. And there's some really intriguing concepts in here we want to explore, like this idea that we are this situation.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it really flips things, doesn't it? And also this notion that when we stop fighting, the war is over. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so the first really central theme, I think, is this strong sense of personal responsibility. McLean is very direct. She says, we are the result of our being.
Right. And she follows that up with, it's not the situation, we are the situation. That really puts the focus back on us, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It suggests our experiences aren't just random things happening to us. They're deeply connected to our inner state, our way of being.
Like our internal frequency, maybe.
Yeah.
Almost like we're attracting or filtering what comes our way based on what's going on inside.
Exactly that. She uses this great radio station analogy. You tune into different frequencies, you get different broadcasts, right? So McLean suggests let's say, the density or lightness of our being, our inner frequency, influences the kinds of experiences we tune into, even if we're looking at the same external event.
So like two people could watch the exact same news story.
And have completely different reactions, different experiences of it, based purely on their internal state, their frequency at that moment.
Right. So the external event itself, the situation, might be relatively neutral. Just information, perhaps.
Yeah.
But it's our internal vibe, our reaction, how we engage with it.
That's what defines our actual experience of it, which is, quite different from just blaming outside circumstances automatically.
It really is.
And thinking about the implications, well, McLean seems to hint that our internal energy state might actually sort of magnetize certain experiences. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
Like if you consciously shifted your inner state, your frequency, could that actually change the kinds of situations you encounter? It shifts where you might look for solutions,
Definitely. Okay, another really powerful idea she explores is this whole area of inner conflict and, well, finding peace.
Yes, the internal war, as she calls it, that battle that can happen between our true loving being and all the external noise, the pressures. And her solution or perspective is surprisingly simple. When we stop fighting, the war is over.
And the war here isn't necessarily like a literal fight, is it? It's more that internal resistance.
Exactly. The tension we feel when we're not aligned with ourselves, judging ourselves, trying to fit in, fighting reality, all that energy drain.
Right. And the idea is the moment we ease up on that internal struggle, accept ourselves more, align with that true being,
the conflict just dissolves. The war's over because we stopped fighting it internally.
And what's fascinating is how she connects that inner peace to the outer world. If the world reflects our being,
then maybe individual inner peace contributes to collective peace. It suggests our inner state ripples outwards.
That's a big thought. She even says peace exists all around us.
Yeah, implying it's not something we have to create from scratch, but something we choose to participate in, to tune into. It's an internal choice.
Makes you wonder, could the conflicts we see out there be, in some way, reflections of our collective inner turmoil?
It's certainly a challenging perspective. Okay, moving on. She also talks a lot about presence, about consciousness in the moment.
Right. She says, we're given gifts in every moment. Those gifts are presence of being the experience. That's quite a way to view things.
It really is. The gifts aren't material things, but the opportunity to just be in the experience fully.
To inhabit the moment.
Yes. And for McLean, being present means understanding, observing, and choice in being from a place of knowing. It's active engagement with the now, not lost in past regrets or future worries.
Like mindfulness, essentially.
Very much so. Think about when you're totally absorbed in something, how time flies and everything feels richer. That's presence.
And she has that beautiful term, living magic.
Yes. Illuminated consciousness. It's like our present, vibrant inner state shines a light, illuminating the beauty that's always there, even in ordinary things.
Our inner state literally brightens our perception of the world.
That seems to be the idea. And it connects directly to mindfulness practices, paying attention without judgment. So think about times you felt truly present. What was that like? What was the quality of that experience?
Something to reflect on. Okay, another key thread is focus and vibration.
Yeah, this connects back. Anything outside ourselves is a reflection of aspects of our being. Therefore, what we give focus to continues to be.
So we're back to we are the situation, in a way. What we focus on gets amplified in our experience.
Exactly. And she talks about frequency malfunction misalignment, suggesting that our really strong, maybe negative reactions to things.
Like when someone really pushes your buttons.
Right. That reaction might be showing us a denser vibration within ourselves, fear, anger, whatever that's being mirrored back.
As opposed to lighter vibrations like love or appreciation.
Precisely. So the trigger isn't just the external thing, it's also pointing to something inside us. But the empowering part is, she says we have a choice. We can choose to be the focus of love.
And by doing that, maybe cultivate more positive experiences.
That's the implication. And she takes it further, suggesting the vibration we send around the world affects the world.
Wow. She compares it to car exhaust. Invisible, but definitely has an impact.
Yeah, it's a powerful analogy. It really prompts you to think, okay, what's the dominant frequency I'm putting out there? What's my energetic exhaust?
That's quite a question. Okay, let's talk about authenticity and self-awareness. She asks something pretty direct.
Oh, the surprise party question?
Yeah, if we are having to hide the things that we do, we're either not living truthfully to ourselves or throwing a surprise party. That kind of hits home, doesn't it?
It really does. It speaks to integrity. If you feel you need to hide something because of shame or fear, maybe there's a disconnect with your true self or maybe a lack of self-respect there.
And she talks about the chaos that comes from sending mixed messages.
Yeah.
Saying one thing, feeling another, doing a third.
Right, that internal inconsistency. She suggests it can manifest as external confusion or, well, chaos in our lives.
And then there's the big statement. The world reflects to us what we think of ourselves.
Profound, isn't it? She even hints this might apply to bigger things, like illness or societal issues, reflecting collective consciousness.
Yep, she offers hope, too, right? But the potential for change through a mass consciousness focused on positive things like love, peace, gratitude.
Absolutely. It really highlights how powerful our self-perception is. What you believe about yourself can genuinely shape your reality. So it's worth asking yourself, are there areas where you're maybe not living in full alignment? What could shift if you did?
Good question. Okay, another piece is about letting go. Attachments.
Yes. What we become attached to can weigh us down from evolving. And that's not just stuff, it's also rigid ideas, old hurts.
Things we cling to.
Exactly. And the antidote seems to be presence. Be here, now. Letting go of the need to control or hold on too tightly.
She talks about reaching a place where there is no difference. What does that mean, do you think?
Maybe recognizing the underlying unity. Like seeing everything as different expressions of the same fundamental energy or source, like waves in the ocean, different forms, same water.
Okay. And she says in that state of acceptance, everything makes a difference. That seems paradoxical.
A little, yeah. Perhaps by letting go of trying to force a difference, by accepting what is, our actions become more impactful, more aligned with the natural flow of things.
So letting go isn't passive, it's powerful.
That seems to be the idea. It encourages you to look at your own attachments. What are you holding on to that might be hindering your growth or causing friction? What might letting go feel like?
Interesting. Now, she also tackles the classic head versus heart idea.
Right, and she challenges that split. Her advice is to be that in both and play the same tune.
So integration, not choosing one over the other, but getting them to work together.
Exactly. Bringing mind and heart into harmony. Ideally, she suggests, both should operate from a frequency of love to reduce that internal conflict.
When thoughts and feelings align, things feel more coherent.
Yes. And she also emphasizes becoming the observer of emotions, not getting swept away, but noticing them.
Creating that space between feeling and reaction.
Which allows for conscious choice. It's about emotional regulation, really, but framed in this language of frequency and being, integrating our thinking and feeling selves.
Okay, here's another fascinating one. The power of names, of language. Where there is no name, there is no limitation.
This is deep. The idea that labeling things can actually limit our experience of them.
How so?
Well, when we put a name on something, we instantly filter it through all the meanings and associations we have with that word. We box it in.
Right.
McLean suggests some experiences are just too big, too subtle for words. They have to be felt, experienced directly. It is in it we be, she says.
Like trying to explain music just by listing the notes or describing love, words fall short.
Exactly. It makes you think about how much richness we might miss by constantly trying to categorize and define everything so rigidly.
Are there experiences in your life that kind of defy easy description? What happens if we just allow them to be without needing a label?
That's the question she leaves us with on that point. Now, towards the end, she really stresses the need for change.
Yeah, very simply.
Yeah.
It can't change if we stay the same. Puts the onus back on us again. Our choices drive change.
It underlines that life is change, it's dynamic. Sticking rigidly to old ways is, well, counterproductive if we want to evolve.
And she points out how we often try to be someone we're not.
Yes. Trying to live up to some image, some expectation, instead of just being who we are right now.
Her advice, stop trying.
Stop trying to be someone else. Just be authentically you. Embrace that.
It sounds simple, but it's profound. It ties into psychological ideas about growth. You need conscious effort, but also self-acceptance is the starting point. You can't grow from a place of self-rejection.
Well said. And finally, she brings it all back to the magic in the everyday.
I love this bit. Magic is the life experience expressing itself, though us.
It's beautiful, isn't it? A reminder that wonder isn't just for holidays or special events.
Right. She explicitly challenges that idea that enjoyment is reserved for the holiday destination.
Suggesting that every day can feel like that if we cultivate gratitude, love, joy internally. The holiday is within us, accessible now.
And that core message, life is simple.
We make it hard, she implies, with all our striving, controlling, limiting thoughts. Her answer is trust, letting go of those limits.
And it circles back to awareness. Awareness gives us choice. Choice in how we act, how we be, moving beyond just automatic reactions.
It's a perfect summary, really. It pulls all the threads together: presence, focus, authenticity, letting go, showing how they lead to experiencing more of that everyday magic and simplicity. So for you listening, maybe think, which one or two of these ideas really land for you right now?
So yeah, wrapping up this deep dive into Alison McLean's This Moment Too, wow, we've really covered some ground, that deep link between our inner world and outer experience.
The power of personal responsibility for our energy, our broadcast.
The potential to inner peace, the magic of being present.
And just the impact of conscious choice, choosing authenticity, choosing love.
It's a lot to take in. So maybe a final thought for you to mull over. Think about just one small area, one specific aspect of your life. Where could shifting your inner being or just your focus maybe lead to a different outcome, a different experience? What might that shift look like for you?
A great question to sit with.
Indeed. Well, thank you for sharing these reflections with us, and thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, it was fascinating to explore. Remember, these deep dives are shaped by what you send us, so if you have something you'd like us to get into,
Please do share it. Until next time.